MTRCB Chair Lala Soto. First, I would like to say that it is my privilege to welcome you all today to this kick-off ceremony of the Cybersecurity Awareness Month. We are all aware that in today's digital age, cyber threats are and becoming more sophisticated and pervasive than ever before. I think I don't want to discuss more about that, but alam niyo na yung mga nangyari in the last weeks, ano? At I think may overexposure na rin naman sa media explaining a lot of things about cybersecurity. O may lang dumating. So, also, while it is becoming sophisticated and pervasive than ever before, it is imperative that we equip ourselves with the knowledge and tools to protect ourselves and our organizations in cyberspace. I don't know if you've heard, but the President signed Proclamation 353, which assigns October as the Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Before this proclamation, it was September. But the President aligned it with the International Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So all countries, well, a majority of the countries actually celebrate Cybersecurity Awareness Month every October. This year's theme, Sama-sama para sa Cyberseguridad, Mr. Secretary, highlights the importance of fostering collaboration and partnerships. It also underlines the fact that it will take the effort of everyone to build a cyber-safe Philippines, because cybersecurity affects everyone. Cybersecurity is a concern not only of us, adults, but also of the young people. Yung mga anak natin na binibigyan natin ng access sa iPad o kaya sa Android, they also need to be protected. No? These threats also transcend borders and industries, and there is no single entity that can effectively combat them if they are alone. We must work together, sectors by sectors, countries by countries, to share information, pool resources, and develop innovative solutions. It is in working together that we can make a difference and build a safer digital Philippines. As we kick off the celebration, let us remember that cybersecurity is not only a technology issue, it is also a human issue. It affects us all, as I already mentioned, regardless of age, profession, or background. But most importantly, we must also bridge the gap between technical expertise and public understanding, making cybersecurity accessible and relevant to everyone. We should empower individuals to make informed decisions, to be able to protect their digital lives, and to contribute to a more secure and reliable cyberspace. Throughout the month, we have planned a series of activities both on-site and online in order to raise awareness on the importance of cybersecurity and to inspire participants to achieve a safer cyberspace, whether as individuals or as organizations. Ang highlight po nito sa next Monday, we will have the finals of the Hack4Gov competition among college students, the winner of which will be sent abroad to Thailand for the ASEAN level competition. Hopefully, like Gilas Pilipinas, we also get the gold there. No? Sabi nga ni Tim Cone, it was really, he really didn't think about winning the gold. We want to also dream about getting the gold there in Thailand, but let's hope, no? I would also like to express my gratitude to those in the private sector we have collaborated with, for example, Digital Pilipinas, Mama Moore. Your time and expertise have proven invaluable to making this event happen. In closing, I would like to thank you all again for being here as we strive for a trusted, secure, and reliable cyberspace for every Filipino. Let us seize this opportunity to raise awareness, educate, and to inspire. Together, I believe we can build a cyber-resilient nation and ensure that our digital lives remain secure and safe. Maraming salamat.
I think one of the reasons why, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, I have become a cybersecurity champion is because I will admit something that I have never admitted to anyone for the first time. I have been a victim of fishing. I have lost 6 figures to fishing. I booked a trip going to Israel actually, and then shortly after that, I received a call, and you know what I felt, Secretary? I felt shame because I'm a fintech person, and I was fished. And I've never admitted that to anyone. This is actually the first time I have ever admitted it in public. Many other people in the private sector have approached me. Na-fish yung wallet ko, they took out a loan. They feel like they were raped, right? They were ashamed. They didn't want to tell anyone. It is not to diminish what has happened to many of these people, but if it could happen to someone who works in the industry, then we can only imagine what could happen to many of the 70 million plus wallet holders. And on that note, this is why we feel so strongly about supporting the efforts of the DICT under the leadership of our Secretary Ivan Uy. Palakpakan po natin si Secretary Uy. He was so humble last June 2 when we were in Malacanang during USEC Admiral's EGOV launch. He said that the digital transformation officer of the country is the president. But really, the backbone of it is the DICT. And today, we come to celebrate how we will come together in a whole of nation. The government, for the first time, we've been supporting the DICT since 2019. Can you go to the next slide? I just wanted to show you a little bit. Secretary Uy, I remember in 2019, we were called in by then ASEC Manning. And they said, Amor, there is a startup week. There's a startup week. We need support from the private sector. Sir, I think this was the first ever. Payat pa po ako noon dito. After many pounds at that time, we didn't know what startup week was. The DICT was still a baby. I think, Secretary, it was one of the youngest. And now, it is one of the most aggressive departments in government. And the one thing I really appreciate about the DICT coming from the private sector side is it's not about the DICT. It's the DICT supporting the DOJ or the DICT supporting the BSP and the banking sector. It's the DICT supporting the SMEs through DTI. It's the DICT engaging payments with Land Bank and the Bureau of Treasury. It's the DICT launching apps that make it easy to travel for all of us. So this is really the first time that we in the private sector will get the chance to thank who we feel is probably the most ubiquitous yet low-key department in government. Walang branding, walang launch, walang logo change, whatever, and yet they are embedded across the entire society. Maraming salamat po for all the work of the DICT. Next slide. And this is the only one statistic that I hope the media will take away. You know, we have, aside from our dear Secretary, our guest of honor is from the one country that actually receives the most cyber attacks in the world. Tama po ba, Yusek Chef? It's Israel. 600 billion or close to actually accounts for cyber breaches. Para po siyang ekonomiya ng isang maliit na bansa. Ganun po siyang kalaki. And the reason why we invited our partner from Israel is because one of the, if not the one country that is under attack the most, cybersecurity-wise, is Israel. Now, next slide. Thank you po kay DICT Jeff. Last July 28, sinuportahan niyo po ang private sector in behalf of Secretary Uy and explained to us that it's not just the responsibility of one company or the responsibility of government, but it is a whole of government, a whole of business approach. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun? Pag ho nagkaroon ng breach, hindi ho tayo sa private sector tuturo sa gobyerno. Hindi po ganun yun. Tatlong bagay lang po ang gusto kong maalala ninyo kung may maalala po kayo sa aking paliwanag. 3 things. RegTech, GovTech, and then cybersecurity. Dito po sa atin sa Digital Pilipinas, malaki po ang aming paniniwala sa tinatawag na RegTech. Meaning, together with the DICT and the NPC, how do we make the people, siguro ang tapis mo, kaya ang daming bubuyog na lumalapit sa akin. Buti na lang naligo ako, Secretary. Under RegTech, we hope to work with the DICT to give the power back to the people in terms of ownership of their data. Kasi po yung mga data holder at yung currently yung mga data holder na institusyon, hindi po natin pwedeng sabihin lamang sa mga consumer, kasi tatanga-tanga kayo, kaya kayo na-fish. Tatanga-tanga kayo, kung ako nga ho, nagtatrabaho na sa industriya ng fintech, na-fish pa. Hindi ho kaya dapat paliwanag natin sa kanila, hindi lamang kung ano ang kakulangan, kung hindi ano rin ang kanilang mga rights, yung tinatawag na karapatan nila being data subjects. Yung pangalawa po, yung cyber security. Pag pinapaliwanag ko po yun sa aking anak na may autism, ang sinasabi ko, anak, para yung keeping guard of your own house, yung gate ng bahay mo. Because it's important that not only will DICT Jeff or Secretary Uy be able to explain it, dapat yung mga sila Vice Ganda, yung mga GMA 7 partners natin, yan ang kailangan nating makapagpaliwanag kung ano ang kahalagahan ng cybersecurity. And DICT Jeff and Secretary Uy, we have as our partners GMA 7 International, and at no cost, the DICT can actually use them as our champions, not just domestically, pati po overseas. Lalong-lalo na po overseas. No? Kasi I'm sure, kahit po ganong kagaling ni Secretary Uy, mas pakikinggan pa rin ng tao si Ding Dong Dantes at si Marian Rivera. Right? Tama po ba? So, yung mga taga-DICT, sabihin mo, Secretary Uy pa rin. Ngayon, ano po yung tinatawag na GovTech? At ito po yung talagang ako, sobrang proud ako. Kasi, everyone saying, meron na yan ng Singapore, meron na yan ng Estonia. Pero alam naman po natin, napakagaling ng dalawang bansa na yon. Pero alam niyo po ba kung gano'ng kalaki lang yung dalawang bansa na yon? Ang Estonia, na ang ating napakagaling na partner, ilan po ba, Sir? 1 million. So ano po yun? San Juan. Ang Singapore, gano'ng kalaki ang Singapore? 5 million. Ano yun? Tondo. Hindi, Manila, baka Manila. I believe that this is the first time, and we just don't get credit enough, that a government is digitalizing at this scale. We are 115 million people. Ewan ko sa inyo, ako kinikilabutan ako whenever I give this during talks. This is the first time. Everyone saying, Hong Kong has octopus, Singapore has this, other countries have this. Tanungin ko nga kayo, ganong kalaki ang Hong Kong? Ganong kalaki ang Singapore? Ganong kalaki ang Pilipinas? Mahina po ako sa math. Siguro po 20 times the size. And in record time, na-i-launch po ang tinatawag na e-com super app that I will vouch for, tama po ba Yusek Jeff, is cyber secure. Wala na po tayong dapat ikatakot sa paglagay ng datos natin sa ating super app dahil eventually ang mangyayari po dito, hindi na po tayo kailangan magdala ng mga dokumento. In record time. Sir, ilang buwan pa lang ba? Less than a year. Pero narinig niyo ba na nag-rebrand o nag-launch na kung ano-anong kampanya ang DICT? Zero. Sabi nga, they walk softly and yet they carry a big stick. Kaya po kami dito sa private sector, kadamihan po dito ay pupunta sa DICT linggo-linggo. Meron po kaming pa-fishball at pataho. Marami po sa inyo sa media na nakakuha po ba kayo ng taho at salamat po sa aming mga kaibigan sa Mercato. Sabi ko nga, it is our job and our duty to bring the private sector here. Kasi secretary, kadalasan hindi sila pumupunta dito. Kadalasan hindi nagpupunta ng Quezon City. So we're gonna change that. Every week, every October, there will be important programs in the DICT. Maraming salamat po sa ating media friends. This week, we will focus on the all-important financial services. Next week, ang i-focus naman po, makikita nyo, how the DICT is embedded in customer and consumer fronting national line agencies. DOLE, DFA, DepEd, Department of Agriculture. Tapos, sa dulo, isa sa mga pinaka-iintay natin, yung cyber wars. Because at the end of the day, these two gentlemen might be in a barong, but if you think of the barong, they're really geeks inside. They really are. Talaga si Yusek Jeff, talagang mahalaga sa kanya, right, Apple? The 27 on the closing, kailangan nandito po kayo. Kasi meron tayong cyber wars. Tama po ba, Yusek Jeff? The war games will be here. Okay? Bawal ho nakabarong, bawal nakakurbata. Kasi mga bata, mga white hat hacker ang ating mga kausap. Ngayon lang po tayo pwedeng formal lang suot kasi opening, tsaka flag ceremony. On the 27th, we will also be bringing on board all of the foreign governments supporting the DICT and the national government for cyber defense and cyber security. So medyo dadami po ang ating mga bisita on the 27th. We are also happy to have on the 17th all the law enforcement agencies and the policy bodies from the PNP, from the DOJ to the NPC. Nandito po tayong lahat. At ang may papangako lamang po namin, sabi nga po namin ni Yusek Jeff, kadamihan sa inyo, hindi pa nakakapunta sa UP campus. You will get to eat Mang Larry's isaw and fishball and taho because that's what UP is known for. Finally, hindi po ito magtatapos. Can we go to the next slide quickly before I turn it over? Next slide. Next. Let's move quickly. Next, I want to close quickly. On the House, the stops up from November 20 to 24. Kasabay po ng Philippine Startup Week will be the Digital Pilipinas Festival. And we are also going to work closely with the Office of USEC Jeff on having a trust tech and a cyber security master.
Maklang, convener of the Digital Pilipinas. Thank you so much for all that strong support and very, very encouraging words to the DICT. I'm quite certain that your words of encouragement would only serve to prod us to work even harder in digitalizing our country and in pushing for a cyber-safe Philippines. We have, as you've noted, we have always kept a very low profile because we just want to work quietly in supporting all the different government agencies in their digital journey. And ultimately, our effort is not really to focus on ourselves or gain credit for anything, but to be able to make meaningful change in every Filipino's lives, to push for our economic development in our digital economy, as well as to make our citizens be able to access government services easier, effortlessly, with less pain points, and of course safely. Of course, I'd like to also greet Chairperson Lala Soto, who's I think on the way. Our representatives, the board are here of the MTRCB, who we will be signing an MOU later. To all my DICT family members, to all our friends from the different government agencies here, our friends and supporters from the private sector, our champions from the Digital Pilipinas, our sponsors, you can see them around us, our valued guests. I think the Israeli ambassador is also on the way here. I'm sure he's one of the busiest man today, considering what's going on halfway across the world. And ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you today as we gather to kick off the celebration of the Cybersecurity Month 2023. Globally, cyber threats have become more sophisticated and threat actors have become even more persistent in compromising cybersecurity defenses. With the scale and speed at which cyber threats have evolved, both the public and private sectors have to be constantly on guard to defend the country's cyberspace. And they're very innovative and very creative in their efforts to steal your information, to get your credentials, and to get into your accounts if they can. And sad to say, I've talked to many C-level executives who themselves have admitted to me that they were phished, they were hacked because of sometimes inadvertently they forget how persistent and how creative these cyber criminals are. So, minsan, these are C-level. These are very intelligent, highly educated, in fact, knowledgeable CEOs, COOs of companies. Sometimes they would access with their credentials, of course, when they go to the office, when they go to their devices. Then, they are outside the office or they are on holiday and they forget their device. So they need to communicate, they need to access immediately. They go to a public device or they go to one of the devices of their kids who use their computer to download BitTorrent movies, download pirated software, or join all of these online gaming, and that's where their credentials suddenly get stolen. So sometimes it's just a matter of, medyo you did not pay attention to something, and then, that's the avenue where these cyber criminals take advantage of. In 2022, the DICT, through the NSERT, or the National Computer Emergency Response Team of the Cybersecurity Bureau, recorded about 50,000 cyber threats and handled more than 5,000 incidents. And as of the end of July 2023, the NSERT has already recorded 1,500 cyber threats. I was also informed that most of the targets have been the government, the emergency services sector, followed by the academe and the telecommunications sector. Why the academe? Because, as you very well know, during the pandemic, a lot of academic institutions went online in order to be able to have their students access their course materials online. So cyber criminals saw this as a golden opportunity because now they have access to those systems through the devices that are given, or the access that are given to the students and the teachers, especially in their provinces, in the remote areas. So these figures reflect the increasing frequency with which cyber threat actors are preying on people worldwide. And they have who have increasingly relied on the internet for all our daily transactions. And if left unaddressed, these cyber incidents could derail our shared goal of becoming a country that is primed to be an emerging digital economy in the region and in the world. So I'm indeed very delighted to be here with you for the launching of our Cybersecurity Month for 2023, which highlights the critical need to safeguard our cyberspace in the face of mounting threats. This year's theme, Sama-sama para sa Cyberseguridad, underscores the importance of a collective efforts in cybersecurity for a digitally safer Philippines. We extend our deep appreciation to our President Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr. for his full support in the issuance of Proclamation 353 Series 2003, which moved the Cybersecurity Month from September to October in conjunction with the international celebration of Cybersecurity Month, which is in October. And in celebration of this momentous occasion, we have a month filled with activities, face-to-face as well as virtual activities designed to raise cyber security awareness and engage all sectors in promoting a cyber-safe Philippines. These activities involve various divisions in partnership with the Cybersecurity Bureau and with Digital Pilipinas as our partner. At the heart of the celebration of our cybersecurity endeavors is the National Cybersecurity Plan for 2023 to 2028, which is our cyber resiliency blueprint to attain a robust and dependable cyberspace for all Filipinos by the year 2028. The National Cybersecurity Plan is anchored on three strategic outcomes. First is strengthening our cybersecurity policy structure. Second is to actively safeguard the nation and its citizens online. And third is enhancing the capabilities of our cybersecurity workforce. Protecting our critical information infrastructure stands as a top priority within the plan, as they are central to our national security. The NCSP equips and safeguards all our critical infrastructure from kinetic warfare and information campaigns designed to destabilize governments through subversion, coercion. While our comprehensive national cybersecurity plan addresses various scenarios that may unfold in cyberspace, we will push for a collaborative approach in dealing with our national cybersecurity challenges. Our hope is to unify these efforts through that plan. To complement these endeavors, we have also intensified our training and capacity building initiatives, nurturing a new generation of cybersecurity professionals in the country by offering scholarships and programs like Hack for Go and the CERT Essential Training. Additionally, we have established 41 government and organizational computer emergency response teams to assist agencies and organizations in protecting their ICT assets and avoiding cyber threats. To further enhance our capabilities, we are empowering our national CERT and Cybersecurity Bureau to respond promptly to cyber threats. We will achieve this through enhanced cyber threat intelligence monitoring and the establishment of a hybrid National Security Operations Center. Now, as we mark the kickoff of Cybersecurity Month for 2023, our rallying cry is Sama-sama para sa Cyberseguridad, a call for unity and collaboration to create a secure cyber landscape for every Filipino. I urge everyone to give their full participation in the activities that we have lined up for this month. Amid increasing global and local cyber threats vis-a-vis accelerated digitalization, we have to stand united in protecting our cyberspace. On our end, we shall further equip ourselves with the needed tools and train skilled personnel to fortify our cyber defenses. I'm confident that by working together, we shall create a secure digital future where every Filipino can reap the benefits of the digital economy. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay tayo lahat.
Cyberseguridad.
DICT Secretary Ivan John Uy, USEC Jeffrey E&D, MTRCB Board Member Attorney Paulino Casas Jr., MTRCB Board Member Attorney Cesar Pareja, fellow public servants, distinguished guests, good morning. It is my absolute honor to be with you today to witness the signing of the partnership between the Movie and Television Review and Classification Board and the Department of Information and Communications Technology. The MTRCB is a quasi-judicial national government agency under the Office of the President, mandated to supervise and regulate the public exhibition of motion pictures, television programs, and publicity materials whose regulatory framework rests on the doctrine of parens patriae. Did I pronounce that correctly, attorneys? As well as on the natural right of the parents in rearing their children. Over the years, the MTRCB has provided age-appropriate ratings and classification to film, TV programs, and related publicity materials to aid viewers in making informed choices on what content to consume. the rise of online streaming applications and websites, user-generated content, and on-demand services has changed the way Filipino viewers consume media. Children now have unprecedented access to motion picture materials and information, which can be harmful if consumed without proper supervision. If left unsupervised, young viewers may be exposed to inappropriate and illegal content that can cause them harm, such as sexual exploitation, grooming, and violence. Our partnership is an invitation to all stakeholders, including parents, educators, content creators, and technology providers, to unite and create a safer, responsible, and empowering digital future for all Filipinos. Let us commit to educating the public through digital and media literacy to safeguard our children from harm. The digital realm knows no boundaries, and neither should our commitment to protect our children, which is the primary purpose of the MTRC. To all of you, mabuhay and a blessed good morning.
Role here plays in regard to cybersecurity here in the country. And I'd like to start off first of all with our good friend here po, from BPI, if you don't mind, Mr. John Paz. In terms of BPI, again, let me just reread what role he plays in BPI. Mr. John Paz is the Enterprise Information Security Officer and Data Privacy Officer of BPI. So sir, can you please better explain to us what the importance of this role is for BPI and for cybersecurity?
So, as you all know, when we talk about banking, basically the currency by which we operate is trust. Yung tiwala ng mga tao. Without it, we simply cannot operate, much less thrive in our industry. So it's very important that we maintain the trust. And foremost in building that trust is making sure that your accounts are safe with us, right? And that we make our services safe and secure, not only for convenience sake, but also to make sure that the control of over your accounts remain exclusively with you. So that's what we try to do. Personally, I oversee the security embedding of controls in all our services, products and services, and then to make sure that we are compliant for the other hand that I wear as the BPO and all of the entities, be it private, public, everyone is, each of those have DPOs. So as DPO, I make sure that our operations, our services are compliant with the requirements of the Data Privacy Act.
I understand, sir. And then we'll get back a bit more for the benefit of the consumers and the people consuming information over here. They'll get a bit better appreciation of how to protect themselves also as well, to prevent any phishing and other data privacy threats of our consumers for the bank. Moving on to our good friend, Mr. Taya, from, of course, CyberQ. Tell us a bit more about what CyberQ is about. What pain points is it trying to solve?
Yeah, so CyberQ Group, basically we're a cybersecurity company. We're based in the UK, but we have our Center of Excellence. We call it our Center of Excellence, basically the delivery center of our services are here in the Philippines. We want to leverage really the great cybersecurity capability of our fellow Filipinos here. And so what we do cybersecurity. Anything and everything around cybersecurity. We advocate that it's not just technology like what Yusek mentioned. Cybersecurity is actually a balance of people, process, and technology. It's not just a technology problem. It's not just a people problem. It's not just a process problem. It's definitely having a balance in a company, and that's what we advocate. You can have, as Secretary Uy mentioned earlier, C-suites people. These are C-suites of companies, big companies who have invested millions of pesos, if not dollars, to have their high-tech cybersecurity solutions, but still they get phished, right? It happens to the best of us. It's not something to be ashamed of, and really we want to have a better understanding, awareness of what cybersecurity is all about.
Mr. Tai, you were saying earlier on, I just want to bring up an important point, and I'm wearing my entrepreneurial hat over here, is that you said in the Philippines there's actually a lot of cybersecurity experts. Tell us a bit more about just what is the potential of the Philippines as a area where people can come, or a resource for cybersecurity for the world.
Yeah, no, so I've been in the industry for about 19 years already. Started back in mid 2000, and right now, what I can say is very few cybersecurity companies around the world that doesn't have a cybersecurity professional that is a Filipino. Almost name it, in every country, in every brand, there's a Filipino in research, there's a Filipino in development, there's a Filipino in support. So really, here in the Philippines, and we partnered with DTI, also and BOI, to have foreign investments here in the Philippines. And as a cybersecurity champion, I'm advocating really there's a lot of talent here in the Philippines. You just need the right approach, the right people.
And hopefully with the support of the DICT, we will also grow our cybersecurity industry here in the Philippines. And with that, Ms. Stephanie, tell us a bit more about Enchain.
Well, Enchain is a blockchain leader. It's a global leader in blockchain research, solutions, and intellectual property. So we are registered in Zug, Switzerland. We have an office in London, and we're now investing in the Philippines. We're opening up our subsidiary here. What we offer is solutions. So he talked about, we have experts here, we have the manpower, and what we offer is the actual technology and how blockchain can actually make such a difference in cybersecurity that has not been done before.
And having said that, what's the importance of cybersecurity when you link together with everybody else over here when it comes to your blockchain technology that people can appreciate?
Oh yeah, for sure. We always think, although we are a tech company, we consider ourselves as not only a research company, but also a tech company. We believe that we are driving the biggest social impact movement of all time. By using the technology, we can make and change lives for the better. And as what we have said, Undersecretary we said earlier, that it's not just a tech issue, it is a human issue. So for us as a company, we leverage technology itself. Gagamitin po natin yung mismong blockchain technology para makatulong, to help really mitigate all of these risks, and to truly support and protect and make sure that each one of us, not just government services, institutions and private institutions, but each one of us individuals are safe and secured from all of these cyber crimes.
So super quotable pala si Yusek kanina about the human issue and the technology issue. Yusek will save you the best for last. I'll pass it muna down to Martin over here of Tangere, where he's the CEO and founder. I think we need to explain again what Tangere is to our friends listening here right now to see. Also, after we explain what Tangere is, what role does cybersecurity play for your own company?
Hello, good morning. Thank you for the question, Sir RJ. Thank you, Ms. Amor, for inviting us in this event. Thank you, Secretary Uy. Ang Tangere po is a research company. We are the biggest research panel in the Philippines. I'm proud to say that, with more than 1 million users who regularly answers our surveys. We do surveys both for quantitative and qualitative for our private sector clients, the mega global of the world, McDonald's. We also do surveys for government agencies such as the Banco Central of the Philippines, Dangerous Drugs Board, DTI, among others. Kami naman po sa Tangere, we're proud to say that with our 1 million users, we are the voice of the Filipino people. So Sir RJ, mamaya papakita ko po yung result ng cybersecurity survey na ginawa namin in one day. So I hope it will bring insights, actionable insights, that will help with our cybersecurity.
In your survey, you show what exactly is the level of cybersecurity awareness among the common Filipino?
That's a great question, sir. We asked 12 questions in our survey. So in terms of mamaya I'll give more details. But in terms of level of awareness, 7 out of 10 online Filipinos are aware of cybersecurity threats. They are aware of the different government programs made by the government to combat cybersecurity threats. And the main driver, of course, is the Data Privacy Act for 2012, with 8 to 9 out of 10 Filipinos aware of the Data Privacy Act. Followed closely, of course, by the online SIM registration. I'll tell you more about it, Sir RJ.
Thanks so much. And Yusek, finally, we've saved the best for last as we kick off this panel discussion. And I think right now, especially having the Cybersecurity Month, it's an opportunity to make more people aware of the importance, just how important cybersecurity is, not just as a technology issue, but like you said, it's a human issue. Can you please help us better understand what is DICT's roadmap towards cybersecurity that we can eventually appreciate all as consumers of digital technology?
Thank you, RJ. No? So, to simplify, we have a Filipino CEO, a Filipina, which is very scarce in cybersecurity. Another Filipino CEO. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build an industry, a cybersecurity industry among Filipinos para maging an innovative industry at that. Kasi DICT can only respond, to a small subset. But for us to be able to cover everyone, including the man on the street, the lady on the street, the boy on the street, we have to have an industry that supports all of this. So, yung mga may kaya, bili sila ng security products, di ba? Yung mga national government agencies, we need to rationalize the way they procure para maging mas defensible yung ating posture. This does not happen overnight, but in the coming years, as we build this industry alongside the defensive posture of government, I believe that we will be on a better score in the global cybersecurity index.
And in terms of metrics, what you're looking at in the next 5 years, where do you see our cybersecurity profile here in the country?
It's very ambitious. Right now, we're 5th in terms of the global cybersecurity index in the ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. We have been overtaken by Vietnam and Thailand. We are hoping to see at least 3rd in rank of the ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations in terms of GCI scores in the next 5 years.
Got that. Thank you so much, Yusek. I want to move back right now to Mr. John Paz and talk particularly about the banking industry. And if you don't mind, since we have our friends from the media and our colleagues from the media listening to us here right now, in terms of cybersecurity, what are you seeing as the most prevalent and most pressing threats that we should be aware of? Because not everyone's got the same level of cybersecurity that we have here. What are the most pressing threats, and what can we do as consumers to address them? And what is the bank doing as well to address them, or the banking system doing to address them? Particularly what you're doing in BPI. Can we pass down the mic back to Sir John? So let's start off with what are the most pressing threats that we're seeing here right now that you want the public to be aware of.
Right. So the most pressing concern really is cyber fraud, online fraud in particular. So it affects our online banking accounts and also our credit card accounts used for our credit cards, used for e-commerce purchases. So what happens is that for those two services to be breached, you need two things, credentials, your online username and password, and your dynamic password, or OTP, one-time password sent usually via SMS. But in our case, for BPI, we have another type of multi-factor authentication that does away with OTPs and using your mobile key in our app. But just to say, the main threat really comes from social engineering attacks. because that's the only way they can get to your accounts. They need to know your username password, and they need to know your one-time password. Alright, so the way they do that, no, for your user credentials or username password, dati phishing yun. They'll send emails, and then they'll prompt you to click on a link, and then be transported to a phishing site where they will impostor, say, by PPI login page or even a Netflix login page, and then try to get your username and password through that mechanism. But more and more we're seeing less of that and more of what we call info stealer malware. Because they've seen phishing takes time and fraudsters want to be efficient. They want to get the low-lying fruit. So what they do is to spread malware, and Philippines unfortunately is one of the top targets and turnover, so to speak, for the fraudsters in being able to get credentials through malware. So when you save your username password in your browser, they can get that and then just be left with the OTP to get. And that one they do via phishing calls. That's voice phishing. So tumatawag sila pretending to be bank officers to try to get your OTP or try to get you to click on your mobile app. So those are the two, RJ, the two most pressing problems we have: phishing and phishing, both of which are social engineering attacks.
Okay, so this is what we call social engineering. In other words, they're working on your mind to get
Exactly.
that. And then I just want to ask, since we're here, that we can benefit the media, our friends from the consumers the most. What is the best way that they can protect themselves, especially from an awareness standpoint? How should they know that there's a red flag when it comes to cybersecurity attack?
For social engineering awareness, social engineering attacks, the only really antidote to that, if you will, is awareness. Fraudsters change their attacks. They change their MOs, modus operandi, every so often. They try to ride on what's current in the greater society. Like for example, during the pandemic, the phishing emails tend to ride on the COVID-19 threat, information, vaccines, and then promos. We've seen that for every, especially for credit card scams, they try to ride the monthly promo cycles of Lazada, Shopee, Amazon, even. You have the upcoming 10-10. After that, it's 11-11, 12-12. So as we can see, especially, particularly in our case, we see fraud to tend to scale up during those cycles, promo cycles. So what we need to do as members of the public is to be aware that there is such a thing as cyclical attacks. Talagang they ride on the promos, and be especially aware and be particularly discerning pag may tumawag sa'yo, pretending to be, say, PPI officers and then offering you promos, etc. Then try to be more discerning. Try to probe, challenge, because they're very good. I've seen recordings where they don't really have much about you, but they can, in the course of the conversation, get to know your trust, and then after that, you'll find yourself giving out your OTP.
No. And lastly, what's the bank also? Thank you for making us aware. What's the bank also trying to do with regard to cybersecurity that we should be aware of? Because we can only do so much with regard to our own cybersecurity efforts.
Right. So what we do is really to partner with whoever we can. Because awareness is a function of two things. So number one, content. We have to, again, fit our messages to our audiences, to the times of the types of fraud that we are seeing. And then second, it's also a function of reach. Okay, gaano ba kalayo yung nararating ng messaging namin? So we're partnering with recently with GMA7, and we're partnering with Pilipinas. We're one of the winners in our desire to reach more of our compatriots, more of the public, to know that there is such a thing as online fraud, and we're heartened to know that 7 out of 10 know that